Anne-Marie, thank you. The holiday season brings all kinds of excitement, hustle, and bustle. It's also a bit of a stressful time, both physically and mentally. So today we are arming you with a few simple tips to keep you healthy over the holidays in both mind and body. Nurse Jake Mossop is here to share his advice on how to prioritize your health. Great to have you.
Yeah, good morning.
So when we look at the holidays, it's like sugar and alcohol.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. And obviously we're not going to say like totally abstain because you have to live. Yeah. But obviously we need to talk about the impact that has on our overall health, but also our immune system.
Yeah, a lot of times when we think about sugar and alcohol, we think about gaining weight and we want to have it in moderation. But the biggest thing people don't realize is that it has a huge negative impact on our immune system, and it actually suppresses our body's innate ability to fight off viral or bacterial infections. So I don't want to be Grinch. But it's just another secondary reason to maybe moderate a little bit.
And it's like at a time of year when we already know that respiratory infections and viral stuff is everywhere.
Yeah,
right?
We need our immune systems to be strong and healthy.
Okay, so something to keep in mind as you are making your plans for the holiday season. We're going to talk a little bit about balance because obviously we do eat and drink more during the holidays than we typically do. So is there anything that we can do to offset some of those moments of indulgence, like with hydration, for example?
Yeah, so all the things I'll talk about are things that will boost our immune system. So first you want to get that water intake and stay hydrated. So they say anywhere between 2 to 4 liters of water a day, and that will really support your overall wellness. And then we want to get nutritious foods in our body at some point. And if you can't do that with foods, then get supplements. So we want to get vitamin C and vitamin D, and then also iron, zinc, and selenium. These are all great for our immune system and will keep it nice and strong. And then finally, protein. Protein is the building blocks of our body. You want to get a lot of protein.
Amazing. For parents out there, one of the great tips that I always heard was if you have lots of sugary food, have something with lots of fiber.
Yes.
To kind of offset the sugar and help your body deal with it.
Yeah, or there's clementines, mandarins this time of year. They're sweet. They're not candy, but they'll give you that vitamin C and they have that sugar.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, we've been talking about obviously physical health, but I think your emotional health is something that we really have to protect, especially your mental health. How can we do that around a holiday season? Yeah,
there's so many stressors over the holidays, whether it's financial or seeing those family members that you don't necessarily want to see. So the first thing you want to do is just have that self-awareness. Know when you have increasing levels of stress. That's so important. That's the very first thing, is know yourself and what your window of threshold is and when you're outside of that. The other thing is do not overcommit. Kelsey, there's so many events over the holidays. You have work parties, your friends, your family. It's okay to say no and kind of dial it down a little bit. And then the last thing is get enough sleep. You want to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's what they recommend for adults. And sleep has a huge impact on our mood, how irritable we are, and how we act throughout the day.
Oh, I always say, like, especially working on a morning show, we're very aware how the lack of sleep kind of, if there's like one little thread that's starting to fray, you're going to pull the whole thing if you're not sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously social gatherings are a huge part of the holidays. We talked about the stress of it, about seeing people. But I think also when we're together, my first thought goes to the fact that everyone's breathing the same air, and what if somebody's sick, and what are we going to do? So what would be your recommendation here? Okay,
let's talk about this, because this is the big one. You're around a lot of people, you're going to gatherings. What can we do? Sometimes there can be a lot of fear, especially we just went through a global pandemic. So the first thing I would recommend as a nurse is if you can, go get vaccinated. You can get vaccinated for influenza, COVID-19. This will create that herd immunity and keep you protected at gatherings. If the other thing you can do, and it's the number one way of preventing disease, is washing your hands. So if you're hosting a gathering or going, put a bottle of hand sanitizer at the entrance, get everyone to clean their hands when they arrive and come in. Or if your hands are visibly dirty, then we say wash them with running water and soap. The other thing is that these gatherings, we have a lot of little kids and older adults, like our grandparents. And these are the two age groups that are at most risk for health. So if you have that, either end of the spectrum, then I would just recommend potentially wearing face coverings around those who are most vulnerable. And then the last thing is, if you're feeling sick, don't go. I know it's sad. I don't want you to spend the holidays alone. But if you do have symptoms, then just try to, stay back.
Yeah, I think important to know too, when you look at timelines, you need about 2 weeks post-vaccination before you really feel the full effects of it. So go today.
Yeah,
if you can.
Go now.
Go today. And obviously stay home if you can, if you're not feeling well.
Yeah, we want Canadians to be healthy over the holidays and avoid ending up in the hospital.
Yeah, Jake, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.